Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Rise of the Beasts Optimus Prime Voyager class. We'll go ahead and put him off to the side real quick and look at this box. But yeah, this is the main line, not Studio Series. So you can see there, you Optimus Prime, Transformers, Rise of the Beast, and you got a nice CG image of him right there pointing you because he wants you to join the Autobots or whatever. I don't know, Transformers, and it's very green. Up here you got Rise of the Beast, and of course the cutout. You can kind of see some glyphs and stuff with animals on it inside there. On the side, you have more of the artwork and the Autobot symbol right there. On this side, you have, again, the same artwork in Voyager class. On the bottom, you have who's manufactured, what's included, and, of course, copyrights and warnings in the back and some product shots as well. There you go. You also have the instructions, which, are very helpful because, even though he's easy, though. But regardless, Optimus Prime. This is, the mainline version. This is not the Studio Series, so it's a bit different. And I wasn't going to pick this guy up, and then I started seeing a lot of positive word of mouth. So, yeah, worth it, I feel. But anyway, you can see he is, Optimus from Rise of the Beasts. And, yeah, he's got, quite a few details. So you can see his, face nicely picked out. Silver, blue. We've got some light blue eyes. Weirdly, he does have light piping here, but, painted over. So, that's a weird thing. You got the silver up here on the, the little sun visors. You got the blue, translucent blue. You got some tech detailing underneath. Lots of gray, which is kind of accurate. Although a lot of people complain about the gray, but it is kind of accurate to how he looks in the upcoming movie. I feel like in this case, maybe they should have used maybe a darker gray, but as it is, this shade of gray is kind of really weirdly enough kind of associated with being cheap. But you got all that gray. You got the red. You got the little arrows there. You got the Autobot symbol right there. You got, a little bit spot of black. You got his blue with the, red on the shins and some gray there and his feet on the back here. Again, more gray. You got the wheels kind of chilling out on his back and whatnot. But you got these weird fin things. A lot of people have resorted to cutting these down. And I think these are technically the wrong shape. But regardless, he's overall, I find to be a really good looking robot. Just my only real complaint, maybe they could have darkened the shade of gray. But for me, it's not this amount of gray, just maybe the shade, maybe it's a little too light. But regardless, he does look good. He does come with a gun, which is just cast in black, and it's pretty much the gun he's been using since, the Bumblebee movie. You can hold that in either hand, no problem. And there you go. I guess you could also store it here on the back if you want to store it away, while I'm holding it. You can just, pop it on the back here, I guess, although it's going to kind of get in the way, but we'll go down between. Not really. Yeah, you could just have him mold it. Looks good. And there you go. Yeah, it's actually a pretty fun little robot overall. But he's also a bit on the smaller side compared to a lot of the Studio Series stuff. We'll get into that in a little bit. But articulation, his head is only on a swivel, I think the only real downside in this is articulation. Is just his head's on a swivel. And only a swivel, not a ball joint. So you go left and right, and that's it. Also, it's weirdly kind of because of these bits, he kind of looks a little like he's kind of in a shirt that's a little too big. Shoulders, he has full, rotation that way. He does have outward that far. These can adjust, I guess, a bit. You do have a bicep swivel. Arms have a really nice curl. The wrists are on ball joints, so you do functionally you have a wrist swivel. You can see that. You have wrist swivel and you have inward and a little bit of waggle here, but not a lot. But you do have the inward. That's most of your transformation. At the waist, you have that, which is oh no, it's all he has. It's not a whole lot. But the cool thing is if you up here, because of transformation, there's another swivel there, so you can turn that and then keep turning that. And it kind of creates a more natural rotation that a person would have. So it's kind of neat that that's a thing. And again, because of transformation, you can unclip this and give him quite the ab crunch, which is really nice. Hips go forward about that far, backwards that far, outwards you have that much, pretty much full splits. You do have a thigh swivel. That's also, there's a hip skirt there, which gets out of the way. You have a thigh swivel. The knees, a little over 90 degrees. And the feet, oh man, the feet are really good too because you got ankle tilts, actually both ways. And there's a hinge here, so you can also go forward and back as well. There is a lot of posability. That really the waist might have been a disappointment if it wasn't for this upper ab swivel. And then the head is the only real disappointment, being only on a swivel, not a ball joint. But he can get some really nice poses going if, real quick and easy too. And yeah, even use that ab crunch, and yeah, he just can look real good, real quick. And that's one of the reasons. This is why I think this is a really good toy. Yeah. So yeah, that's a thing. But real quick comparisons though, or just a couple though, just because I don't want to go too far on this one. But yeah, real quick comparison. Here he is with the deluxe Bumblebee, which Bumblebee probably, that's the very thing. See, Bumblebee kind of comes up a little too high, and that's one of the things. He is kind of small for a Voyager, at least compared to Studio Series. So there's that. And then, I guess, just to really emphasize things, here he is next to the Studio Series 38 Optimus, which, yeah. So, yeah, you can see quite the size difference there. And this kind of gives you an idea of what some people are balking about, which is size. Yeah, these are both Voyagers, and he is on the smaller side, but he does have a large articulation. So, there you go. Yeah, that's the robot mode. Great robot with great articulation. The only real problems are head's only on a swivel, and the gray might put off there's a lot of gray that might put off a lot of people. But transformation. Go ahead and remove this gun. The transformation is also really cool and clever. First things first is up here, what you want to do is take this panel right here, and swing this up 90 degrees, and then make sure the head is centered, and collapse this whole thing. There's a hinge right here. You want to collapse the head into there, and then bring this up and over like that. And also bring this, and then you go ahead also and collapse the windshield in like that. So, now down here at the feet, what you want to go ahead and do is rotate here. There's a rotation right here. You want to rotate the shins inward. And it can be a little tricky. They're kind of stiff. So you want to rotate this all the way inward and bring the feet, and they'll sit up like that. Same on this side. Rotate that upwards and then bring the feet backwards against like this. And so it sits like that. Then you go ahead and take the legs here, and there's tabs. Just tab them together like that. And then take this black piece right here. There's a tab right here. This will slot into or tab over. There you go. There's a trailer hitch. Now, up here, what you want to go ahead and do is take the upper ab swivel thing and rotate that 180 degrees, and that will reveal, hey, look, there's a front end here now. Like that. You want to do that. Now, here, what you want to go ahead and do is take this and back panel and untab this and bring it around. So you can go ahead and bring this backwards like this, and then go ahead and rotate the arm at the bicep like this. Take the hand and rotate that inward. And then there's a little long tab right here. You want to bring it up, and it'll kind of rest underneath the shoulder bit. So you want to just kind of bring it up and like this, and also make sure to get that out of the way a little bit. And then bring this up like that. And it'll sit like this. And you go ahead and take this panel, and this tab right here will go in this slot right here. It'll be sitting like that, more or less. Same thing on this side. Go ahead and untab this and bring it out. Bring this backwards. So, go ahead and rotate that. Rotate this up. Bring this up and just kind of tab in right there. Make sure the fists are sitting nice. If they aren't, I found that if these fists are not sitting nice, things start to get all weird. And of course, take this thing and then bring it around and tab it in right there. Now, take this right here, unclip the waist and bring it back. And right here, these two tabs will go into these two slots right there. Like so. Let's bring that in like that. You got most of this done. Now you go ahead right here. You want to open up the wheels right here. And then on this hinge, this double hinge, you want to bring this down like this. And the wheels, there's little tabs right here on the inside of the wheels will go in these little slots right here. It'll be a little tricky sometimes. I don't like to tab in sometimes. But yeah, bring that in like that. And then right here, take these panels and untab them and rotate them around. And they'll tab in right here over this gray bit right there. And right here. And one final bit, which of course the instructions kind of glossed over, which is just take right here, these panels right here, you untap those and bring those up on each side like so. And that will make gas tanks, and there you go. That is Optimus in his vehicle mode. And yeah, it's kind of a smaller truck. You can see it kind of compresses down a lot, but it's not too bad looking. The only thing is right here, you got this massive back end, which is Not uncommon for some Optimuses, but yeah, you got this thing, there's a trailer hitch here, but unfortunately it sits so high it's not really compatible with any of the existing trailers. You got these, again, some people are complaining about these. I don't mind them so much. It's kind of a goofy little visual thing, but yeah, I don't mind them so much. Yeah, you got the back end here, which is a little hollow. You can kind of see the fists just chilling out in there and whatnot, but you know, you got the wheels, you know, just kind of black and pinned in, but you know, the front end looks pretty good. You got the gray, you know, there's no, you know, silver. I wish this was more silver here, but you know, you got the translucent window still. You got some headlights picked out in blue. The mirrors are there, and they're just kind of translucent plastic though. You got, you know, you got some taillights picked out, but you know, not with paint, just, you know, detailing. Also, you got the skill about the Autobot stuff, and you got, you know, all that stuff, but honestly, it's kind of the smaller side, but it still looks good enough, I think. It's one of those things. This is where they kind of, you could see where the why this is a main line, not Studio Series. But regardless, he does roll pretty well. And yeah, this trailer hitch can, you know, be storage for the gun. You got this, you know, peg, and this right here, the cool, I guess, the magazine or whatever you want to call it, clips in right there too, or right there. So it sits nice and, you know, right there. You know, bottom side, you know, it's kind of empty, but you know, it's not a huge deal. And of course, his head does hide away pretty well too. So it's way in there. You have to look for it, but overall, it looks good, but it is on the smaller side. And the transformation is actually pretty fun too. It's just weird how the instructions kind of gloss over that the gas tanks are like flipped down here, and then all of a sudden the next step they're just up. They don't tell you anything about them. And I was kind of looking at it, wait a minute. I was looking at these, what's this for? And I'm looking at the instructions and I go, oh, those are gas tanks, or at least it's supposed to be. So honestly, it's not too bad, but it is on the smaller side. And that's kind of the general thing about this guy. But yeah, comparison real quick, you can kind of see this with the size of the problem. Here's Bumblebee, and yeah, it's definitely kind of small next to the Studio Series Bumblebee. I'm not sure about the main line. I saw him, I didn't buy though, because I was like, I'm not interested. I saw him, not interested. And here's, again, Studio Series 38 Optimus, which, yeah, there is definitely a big size difference here. You can see that there is a huge size difference, quite frankly. So again, if this the Rise of the Beast Optimus, this is how big he's going to be. So yeah, you can see a bit of a size difference. But yeah, so that's the big thing. It's just simply this guy is on the small side. And that's the biggest complaint I've seen, is this guy is on the small side, and also he's kind of the sea of gray thing, which is, while accurate, does frustrate people. So he is, I think the Rise of the mainline Voyagers is supposed to be cheaper than the Studio Series, but they're supposed to be, but in my experience they aren't. They're still $34 or $34 whatever. It's almost $35 essentially. They're still the same price as far as I can tell. They're the same price as the Studio Series stuff, but this is a really nice toy. I will say that. It is on the smaller side, but it's got great articulation. Its robot mode is fantastic. The transformation is really fun, and the alt mode's decent. Not amazing, but decent. So, you know, it's a really fun toy. And it's one of those things where even though it's smaller, I think it just by sheer virtue of being as good fun of a toy as it is, it kind of justifies its price. Some people may disagree, and you might want to wait for a sale, which it probably will be. They probably will go on sale eventually, but this is fun. This is a genuinely just fun toy, and I think it's worth the $35 personally. You may disagree, but you know, seeing what you see and seeing how big it is and everything, you may have to make up your mind on that. But it's a really fun toy, and I think it fills out it justifies its price just by being fun. It may be smaller, but it's fun. It's superposable. It looks great, and yeah, I say pick it up, but you may not want to. If you look at it in bulk because of the size, then yeah, you might want to wait for it to go on sale. But at some point, you definitely want to try to check it out in some way, even if you're waiting for a sale. You probably will go on sale. So still a great toy overall, though, in my opinion. So that's it for this one. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Twitter. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1. Check out my cohost.org/Nemesis-Prime. Check out my Coffee, my Patreon. And I shall see you next time with another video review.